Ladies and gentlemen, the skills have officially been revealed for the two new epic ranged commanders coming to Rise of Kingdoms. So today we're going to go over all of those skills as well as a ton more updates that are coming with the holiday / Christmas update coming later this month. But first, what's going on, guys? Cheers. If you guys appreciate breaking news for Rise of Kingdoms, consider dropping a thumbs up on the video and subscribe down below. As a partnered creator with Rise of Kingdoms, your support means more than anything. Okay, with all that out of the way, this information actually comes from an official video posted on the Rise of Kingdoms YouTube channel that I'm going to link it down below. But first, let's go over the skills for Catherine de Medici. I probably pronounced that wrong, okay, but give me a break. It's 5:30 in the morning, and also I pronounce everything wrong. But she's an engineering, versatility, and skill-based commander. Taking a look at her active skill, it has a 1000 rage requirement, deals range direct damage to a target troop with a damage factor of up to 900, but it is reduced to 500 if the target is not within melee range, and for the next 2 seconds the target takes up to 15% more damage. So that is a very powerful debuff, especially considering that it works at range. You don't even have to be touching the target for that to take effect. The downside is that it is only for 2 seconds, so kind of unfortunate there, but this is an epic commander, so I love it. Also worth noting before we go any further, it says this commander can only be used in kingdoms that have reached season 2 or later. So ranged combat coming to season 2 of KVK confirmed. Very cool. Her second skill says this commander's siege units gain 15% attack, and while not in combat, their siege units also gain 10% march speed. So very generic skill here. I think siege do really like attack, which is very good for Catherine. The siege march speed will be useful, but I think that siege are so slow that you might not even notice this, but it's still really good that it's here. And obviously march speed is what siege really need. Third skill, whenever this commander's troop launches a range-based attack, it has a 30% chance to deal ranged additional damage to the target every second for the next 2 seconds with a damage factor of 300. So that is a total of 600 extra direct damage. That's a very high probability of occurring, but a very long 10-second cooldown. Regardless though, instant proc range damage is really nice, so I like to see that a lot. Moving on to the fourth skill, it says whenever this commander's troop uses an active skill, up to nearby allied or friendly troops, including this commander's troop, each gain one of the following effects for 3 seconds, chosen at random. So they either get 15% attack, 15% defense, or 15% health. Okay, there's actually a little bit of a clarification for this skill. It's in the pinned comment. You can see they actually blurred out the number here. What the skill should actually say is whenever this commander uses an active skill, up to 3 nearby ally or friendly troops, including this commander's troop, each gain one of the following effects for 3 seconds, chosen at random, and then it's 15% either attack, defense, or health. So it's Catherine's army and 2 other nearby allied or friendly troops. So don't get confused by the 400 that you might see in the actual video. Really supportive army here, to be honest with you guys. Actually, I really like the kit on Catherine because, again, really nice debuff on the active skill. It's a little bit short, but it is nice. You get the extra just instant proc damage, and now you're buffing nearby allied or friendly troops. That's really cool. And then finally, her expertise actually bumps up the lethal concoction skill. That is the instant proc damage skill. So let's go ahead and scroll down here, and it will say that it bumps it up to 400 damage factor, still for 2 seconds, and it is increased to 500 if the target has less than 50% units remaining, still a 10-second cooldown. So you could be doing upwards of 1000 bonus instant proc damage. Really solid kit here for Catherine. Now let me just remind you guys, this is an epic commander, right? So in terms of stats, she only has 15% attack and a conditional 10% march speed bonus. So overall, like, that is, even for an epic commander's standards, that is subpar. And it's siege, which already are literally countered by every unit. Like, that is just how the rock paper scissors works. Siege are countered by everything. So from a stats perspective, she is quite weak, but when you consider that she is a ranged commander, like, ideally she's not going to be taking damage, right? And I think that's one thing that a lot of players don't really think about when they think about range. It's that you are not being targeted, right? And that's one of the reasons why you can see those, like, 1600% trades in your alliance or Lost Kingdom chat, right? It's because ranged troops are just simply not really getting hit. They're taking some counterattack damage, and that's pretty much it, right? So I mean, really any commander that's only taking counterattack damage is gonna hit like a truck, but the benefit for ranged is that it's easier for them to do that because they're farther away from the battle. So she kind of has less stats than a normal epic commander, but the trade-off is that she's gonna be hit less, which is nice, and she's really supportive. So I really like the kit here on Catherine. It's very interesting. It is very unique, even though it is only an epic. Next up is Narses, the Grand Chamberlain. We have an engineering, versatility, and defense commander here. Active skill says if this commander's troop is not within melee range of its current target, okay, so that means if you're at longer range, this skill deals range direct damage to the target with a damage factor of up to 600, okay, and it reduces the target's march speed by up to 10% for 3 seconds. And if this commander's troop is within melee range of its current target, this skill deals 1000 damage factor and reduces the target's attack by 10%. Okay, so if you're close to the target, you're going to deal more damage and have an attack reduction. If you're farther away from the target, you're going to deal less damage but have a march speed reduction. I like that. I like the balance here. Obviously, as an epic commander, if you are that close to the target as a ranged march, you probably want to start running away, because I don't anticipate him being as tanky as some of the legendary ranged commanders that we might have already in the game. But here we see this commander's siege units lose 5% attack but gain 25% defense. Really interesting trade-off here. Obviously that's a ton of stats for an epic commander, but it's net 20, right? And I feel like attack is one thing that Siege really like. Obviously for most other commanders, health is the most premium stat. That's not to say that other stats aren't useful. I get a lot of players get confused about this when I talk about it. Health typically is what improves your trades the most, but in the case of ranged units, they're not taking as much damage as other commanders like we've already talked about, and so they really want attack. So losing some attack is a bummer, but I feel like you're gonna really appreciate that tankiness in moments where you do get swarmed down. So I mean, not that that's going to save you, but it's better than nothing, that's for sure. Looking at the third skill, it says whenever this commander's troop uses an active skill while in ranged mode, it gains 40 rage and it recovers a portion of its slightly wounded units with a healing factor of 250. It looks like we can scroll down here. Oh no, that's it. Okay, so all right, really nice rage engine here. It's a very small rage engine. I wonder how many active skills you'll have to pop before it actually will reduce the number of turns of the following skill cycle. But even still, a little bit of a healing factor is nice for ranged because again, you are taking that counterattack damage over time. It's not that much damage, but this little healing factor will kind of replenish you to keep your army as full as possible. Fourth skill says whenever this commander's troop deals ranged direct damage, it gains 5% attack for 10 seconds. This effect can stack up to 4 times and its duration resets whenever it gains another stack. So okay, beautiful. You have a stacking 20% siege unit attack, which means this army is going to deal more damage over time, which we like to see, but it's whenever you deal range direct damage, right? So you have to really go through 2 skill cycles to get the max here, because I assume that your primary commander will deal range direct damage. You get 5% attack. Then Narses will deal his range direct damage. You'll gain another 5%, and then you'll keep that 10% total until your next skill cycle, and then you'll go from there. Obviously if there's instant proc damage or something like that, maybe that will count here as well, but overall, I mean, 20% attack that stacks is not nothing, but it's it's an epic commander. Like what do you expect, right? And then taking a look at the expertise, it is a buff on the rage regeneration skill, Western Wall of the Empire, and it says that whenever this commander's troop uses an active skill while in range mode, it gains 60 rage and a 400 healing factor. So a much better improvement here for that skill. So overall, both of these new ranged commanders, Narses and Catherine, I think are great additions to the game. I think that this is going to cause more players to give ranged a try, especially if it's going to come around KVK2. There's Leo. Where do we see the skill effects here? Here we've got, okay, so let's take this slowly here. We have, looks like she throws like a perfume or like a poison bottle up into the air, and it lands on her enemies and explodes with like this pink/purple dust and sparkles. I think that looks pretty cool. I like that a lot. It's like a, yeah, it looks like a perfume, like sort of fragrance display, like a concoction. Well, actually, I think that's what the skill is called, right? Isn't that what it's called? Yeah, one of the skills was called lethal concoction. Anyway, looking at Narses's active skill, is that how you say that? Narses's? He throws a coin up in the air, a coin that explodes into a sort of circular pattern on the ground. That star effect is just part of the video that we're watching here. So I mean, it's nothing crazy, honestly. It is what it is, but it's an epic commander, right? So I didn't expect anything fancy. Overall, I think these commanders, again, really nice for players who just want to get their hands on ranged and see if they like this style of gameplay. I think Catherine is going to be more interesting than Narses for me, and I think that she's going to pair better with legendary commanders, right? So if you wanted to do one, you know, epic commander and one maybe 5511 legendary commander, something like that, I think that you know, Catherine would be the play, because she not only deals that damage factor but also has a little bit of debuffing and buffing of your allies and things like that that will scale much better than whatever Narses is doing himself. So overall, I think really cool stuff here. Is this going to change the meta? No. Is this going to break the game? No. It's just going to be sort of an entry level way to get players' hands on these on range commanders. Moving on, let's go over some more things that were shown off in this update video. Here we have the Melon event that we talked about before in a previous video on the channel. This is related to the holiday update, and apparently you can sell the melons in your city for whatever your sale price is. However, you also can bring these melons to a nearby allied player city or alliance member city and sell them for whatever your ally's stall is. However, your ally will get 5% of the sale price if you do so. So this reminds me, if you guys have ever played Animal Crossing, okay, for the Nintendo Switch, it reminds me kind of the stock market, right, where you can sell turnips on your own island, or you can go to a friend's island and sell it for whatever their turnip prices are for that day. Okay. And so in some instances, you're going to be the talk of the town. You're going to have a super high selling price, and everyone's going to want to come to your city and sell, you know, at your city, and you're going to be able to, you know, accrue a ton of coins from that extra 5% bonus. Other days, you're going to want to go to a friend's city to get a better deal. Also, you can apparently steal the melons from your friends as well. So we'll have to wait and see how this event actually works. They have a little bit more information here. The price will range between 200 and 400, and yeah, you can steal melons up to 10 times per day. But some of the rewards here are actually really good. It looks like there's possibly 3 days worth of rewards, and I hope that you'll be able to go back to the previous day as well. Whoever this player is absolutely balling out of control. Okay, but you can get your hands on some transmutation stones, you can get your hands on some legendary commander sculptures, and a ton of extra gold here, which is really, really cool. Did they show off any of the other days worth of rewards here? Oh, they did. Okay, so yeah, so we get more legendary commander sculptures. It looks like the commander sculptures are cheaper on the final day, which is pretty sweet. And what about on the first day? Do they show the first day? And there we do. We see it. We have one epic pick one chest for materials. Also worth noting, we have the Fisherman's Fortune event, but if I move my fat stinky head over here, you'll see Smithy specials over here. So I know some players were hoping that we would get a Smithy specials for the holiday event, and it is apparently confirmed now because you see it right there. So really cool stuff. Next up, Zenith of Power. We've already covered this on the channel. They showed off like the name plaque and avatar frame and things like that. I think this looks fine. I don't love the purple wings, just not my style, but I think if you're into it, this looks cool. Not for me. Here we have the Super Slay. So this is the 7k gems event, which everybody loves. Okay, I'm very excited for this. You could see that we do have some Smithy special hammers in here. So Smithy specials is once again confirmed. You always want to do this. Okay, you always want to save up your AP for this event whenever it comes around. Spend the 7,000 gems once you've gotten all the way to the max level, and you will make all those gems back. We also have a new epic city skin, a Dream of Winter, 5% infantry attack and 5% gathering speed. So nice for the off season. You can gather a bit faster. Do we care about infantry attack though? Not really. We're also going to have the barbarian incursions event. Smithy specials is confirmed. We have the arms training Lohar event, which I should probably refresh my guide for this. It's been a very long time. Have I actually ever made an arm training guide? I don't even know. And then we also have a 7-day opening ceremony event, and they didn't actually show us what the rewards were for this beyond day 4. Like, this is a 24-hour gathering speed thing. It looks like this is 60 minutes of speed ups. We have some resources and a crystal key, but I don't think they showed us anything beyond that. So I wonder what days 5, 6 and 7 are going to be. Hopefully it's something really cool. Next up, they showed off the Realm of the Mystique event, which I hadn't talked about in the recent patch update video because I really wanted to show it here instead of talk about it, because I think it's hard to just like describe what a new event might be. But the Realm of the Mystique event is going to be basically like a roguelike, where you go on to different stages and you'll have to defeat the enemies with and alongside your allies. As you can see over here, we have a couple of different armies, and once you defeat that or complete that stage, you're going to be able to pick between a bunch of different buffs, right? So you'll have chieftain rewards here, and you also have, you know, basic role features as well, like you would for any like Soroli event or something like that. So overall, really interesting. You know, it's a brand new event that we've never seen before. I'm really excited to get my hands on this. Hopefully this is a very fun gameplay loop, and it's not often that we get like really new events like this, so hopefully this goes over really well. Looks like we've got a little bit of shade over here towards a goose. We have cold heart a goose and fake a goose. Ooh, okay, I see how it is. That's a little bit of drama. Okay, a little bit of drama. No, I'm sure that was just for the video. Anyway, some more updates that they have here. They gave us the ability to revoke vacation permits, which is very nice for your kingdom. They also went over the passport pages automatically being refreshed in the alliance shop, so this will refresh every week, which is very nice. 5 passport pages is incredible. Lots of players are going to benefit from this. You'll be able to move kingdoms even if you have a tyrant for your king or alliance leader or whoever. If you had trouble in the past getting your hands on passport pages, this feature is for you, so I love to see that. Next up, this is literally, and I'm not kidding, probably the thing that I'm most excited for in this entire video. And that's not to say that I'm not excited for the epic ranged commanders, but it is to say that I'm extremely excited about this. City halls must reach level 25 to send messages in Lost Kingdom chat. Okay, so that's only for Season of Conquest. Seasons 1 through 3 you have to be City Hall 16, but this is an absolute blessing. Okay, I cannot describe to you how important this is for the health of the Lost Kingdom chat. For the past few years, Lost Kingdom chat is a literal cesspool. There is no value to be gained by going into Lost Kingdom chat. It is purely negative. It is purely degenerate, purely obnoxious. And one of the problems with that is that historically you were able to, you know, kind of create a burner account, a random account in whatever kingdom, and you were able to post in Lost Kingdom chat for whatever reason, right? It made no sense to me. I always thought that there should be a city hall requirement, because there is a city hall requirement to get into the Lost Kingdom anyway, right? So if a governor is not in the Lost Kingdom, why were they able to talk in Lost Kingdom chat? It didn't make any sense to me. So finally we will be restricting Lost Kingdom chat to City Hall 25 players. Now, will that reduce the toxicity? Absolutely. Will it fix it? No, players are always going to be toxic. This is, I mean, this is where you talk your smack, right? Like that's what this chat is made for. Okay, so I'm not delusional here. I know Lost Kingdom chat is still going to be a place that I most likely avoid, but the fact that those anonymous trolls can't, you know, be anonymous trolls anymore, that's really good. I'm happy to see that. So moving on, we've got the Hall of Heroes. Again, we will now get a resource refund here, a 10% refund in the resources that you spend healing units. Okay, so not training units, only healing units, but even still very good to see. But also, if you do not receive an autarch testimony this season, or if you acquired one by fusing Autarch testimony fragments, you will receive an extra 5% of resources. Okay, so this is just a little bit of a benefit for players that if you didn't get an Autarch, don't worry, you at least get a little bit more resources back as a sort of consolation prize, I would say, which I think is really nice. Next up, there is a new gameplay guide for new players, which honestly I feel like is a long time coming. I feel like we needed this, but overall the best way to learn about the game is to watch YouTubers like myself. Okay, so if you made it this far in the video, like and subscribe. But this is very cool. I think there's probably lots of features in the game that even longtime players don't realize that you can do, right? So this will be really cool for discovering those little tips and tricks. And of course, we also have the new resource and speed up calculator that is now built into the game. So it will literally tell you how many resources you have from your items. And I think it's a little confusing that it says from items and total resources. How could you possibly have fewer how could you have fewer total resources than what you have in your bag? Almost feels like those should be swapped, but we'll have to wait and see. It also says resources and speed ups from resource packs and pick one chests are not shown here, of course, because they are not part of a dedicated resource or speed up type. Here we have the speed up calculator for building, research, training, healing, and universal speed ups. So if you want the pick one chest to show up here, you will have to open and claim them. So that is unfortunate. You'll still have to calculate those manually, but even still, it's really cool to see that they finally implemented this. Next up, they also showed off a pretty cool feature where you now can simply tap on the map to send a march there from your city, right? So previously you would have to tap and hold and then click the march option and then choose your marches. Now you will simply have to tap on the map and it will give you the option to march, right? Or teleport. So this is really cool. If you're zoomed out a little bit, you'll still have to tap and hold, but if you're zoomed into the map, this is much faster. Hopefully this won't get annoying, and I think once we get used to this, I think it will be an improvement. The tap to hold thing was a little bit annoying. If, for example, you would tap and hold for like a fraction of a second, you let go a fraction of a second too soon, then you would nothing would happen. You have to do it again, which was annoying. So I really like this. It'll help you teleport and march faster, so that's always a good thing. Also, we have an update to the amount of area in your city. When you hit City Hall 25, you will get more space for your pretty little decorations. So stoked about that. We're gonna have a lot more room for activities, so I'm really happy to see that coming to the game. I'm actually surprised that it's taken this long for them to expand the city area once again, because there's just been so many decorations that they've added over the years that this seems like a long time coming, especially with the remastered graphics coming up soon. Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Let me know what you think about all the updates in the comment section below, including the skills for the 2 new epic ranged commanders. Are you excited to get your hands on some free ranged commanders? Let me know in the comment section below, and while you're down there, consider dropping a thumbs up on the video. It really helps out the channel a ton, and consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell to be notified the next time I upload a Rise of Kingdoms video. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Omniarch. I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace.